I'm gonna crack this thing open.
You know how like advent calendars for kids, those chocolates?
Yeah, we got one.
I'm like that with pumpkin pie.
No, it's my first Marvel movie. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, you got to see a Marvel movie in theaters." So I'm like, "Okay, I'll go see Spider-Man."
Maybe they should have been in there because I have some opinions on why Georgia is in the playoffs. They should not be in the playoffs.
Oh my god!
Why should
Not
they?
you.
They just lost.
Welcome to the Beer and Sports Podcast. I am Josh Wingate 302. Over on my insert left or right, I don't know which one it is. Josh Kimmel US. We are the Beer and Sports Podcast at Mugs and Balls on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Are we calling it Twitter or are we calling it X? I don't know. It's Twitter on here.
Okay, so if I'm having a conversation amongst my friends, sorry for the mic work. I call it Twitter. So if I'm talking to you offline or on text or whatever, we're talking Twitter. If I'm promoting my show or where I'm at, it's X.
I feel like more people will know it by calling it Twitter. So, hey, we're old. We're going to stay with Twitter. And we're going to put an S at the end because every old person puts an S at the end of every word.
I
do.
do.
Follow us on the Twitters.
The Twitters.
Yeah.
Please
do.
So,
how you doing?
Good, man. I'm fixing everything. I'll be honest with you. I feel like this has been this whole year is a 3-day weekend, and I can't adjust to what day it is anymore. So I'm sitting here. And I'm like, I texted you first. Full disclosure. Hey, man, like, are we gonna talk about this S show that we had to sit through this weekend? No response.
And some people have to work.
And I was like, "Are you working?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Are we having a show still?" Like, "Oh yeah, cool." So I've been messing around, lollygagging around, playing Fortnite, doing mainly watching YouTube videos. Anyway, I forgot it was 8:00 because the game was so boring between Buffalo and Pittsburgh. I turned it off. I watched it for 2 seconds and I was like, "This is over." I went out with my parents today, and I got home and I saw Josh Allen run for a 56-yard touchdown, and it was like, at that point, what's the point of watching this game? So I decided to play video games instead. But I watched the other games before this.
I watched a little bit of the game when it was like, I kind of checked. I was like, oh yeah, game's on. Worked late today. Unfortunately had to work today. Should have taken off. But I remembered, I was like, oh yeah, there's a game on. So I looked at the score. It was 10, I think 24 at the time. I'm like, okay, well, kind of a game still. Steelers just need one touchdown. They're back in it. And then next time I looked, Bills had a touchdown. And I was like, you know what? This sucks. I'm not going to turn it on. So my daughter, for some reason, 4 years old, I jokingly put on Bob's Burgers one time. And she loves Bob's Burgers. So I find the right episode for her to watch each time. But she'll watch Bob's Burgers right now. So that's what we watched. But there was football on this weekend, and I know for a fact that you're not going to say, I didn't watch that. It was just boring. I fell asleep. You watched football this weekend, right?
I did, man. I watched 1, 2, 3, 3.5 games, I'd say. How many was there? 4 games on? I promise you guys I watched most of them.
There were 4 games on.
Okay, so I watched 3.5.
I didn't watch the best game of the weekend.
Me either. I watched 3.5 games. The best game of the weekend. I did not. I watched the first half and I kind of did fall asleep, Josh. I'm not gonna lie to you.
These games sucked.
Like, this is the worst wild card weekend. Bad. Worst wild card weekend in a long time.
I can't tell you how many F-bombs I dropped yesterday in the afternoon. I watched that game and I was just, you know what? We suck. We're done. F this. I went upstairs and I was done with the game. I turned it off on every TV.
Hold on, Josh. Before we get there, let's start at the beginning of the timeline. All right. I want to do it how our playoff weekends went. Timeline. So we'll start with the first game. What's going on, Hunter? We're not going to just sit here and bash the Dolphins and Cowboys all night. We're going to do a timeline of our wild card weekend experiences. So start at the top. We don't need to be talking about Dallas right now. They didn't play yet in our world. We don't need to be talking about Miami right now. They're the next game. It starts off Saturday evening, afternoon. I don't know, whatever you
4
want to
o'clock.
call it. 4 o'clock, right?
Dusk, if you will.
Dusk is what it is. Okay, all right. Dusk. Start at dusk. Start out with the Texans and Browns. Now, before this, my daughter made a $2 bet on my Hard Rock app.
Yeah.
We parlayed every game, and it would have paid out two. She gave me $2 in real life, and then it would have paid out $96.
Yeah.
First game, she picked the Browns.
Mm.
Boom, we lost it right off the bat. Thanks, Violet. Thank you so much. It's been a blast. You are over in your career of many more.
Take this as a lesson. Do not become a degenerate gambler.
She's won every single game since. But
okay.
So hopefully, anyway. So that's the first game, and I'm thinking, man, this is going to be a shootout. That's what I thought. Off the top. If you will listen to my OUS fantasy show, I won't tell you when and where, so I don't annoy Josh. I did say, hey, play CJ Stroud's over on passing yards. I think he was going to crush that just because that CJ Stroud averages what his over was. And this team's been hot, especially with Nico Collins and them. So I was expecting a big show, especially with Joe Flacco. He's been airing it out as well.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco really, really, and I even texted you. Yeah. Joe Flacco is elite. He's an elite quarterback. And I mean that as in he's this old.
You throw away around this elite word a little too easily.
Well, think about it. How many people are in America? How many people are in the world? How many people can do what he's doing? Seriously. He's an elite athlete.
Everyone in the NFL is elite. Got it.
Yes. Yeah, they are. But they're elite talents that made it to a profession that not even just.
But within their profession.
There's more doctors in the world, right, than football players. There's more teachers in the world than football players. There's more. To be a professional football player, you have to be one of the most elite of the elite talents to be in the world.
But within their profession, that's what we're talking about. Within their profession, are they elite?
I would say Joe Flacco is. Not many quarterbacks can come in and do what he did. Not many quarterbacks can do what he did, but that's not the point of this conversation. The point is,
many elite quarterbacks are sitting on the bench, like on the sidelines, waiting to get a job.
But he did get a job, and he did lead this team. Without him,
how many injuries did it take for him to get a job on one team?
But okay, New York Jets. Why didn't they sign him? Are they just not an elite scouting staff, and they don't understand that he adds value? He
because they had him on their team before, and they don't like him.
He was a lot better than Zach Wilson. Period, straight up. And so was the other guy as well. So, but we're not arguing if Joe Flacco's elite. He's an elite talent. It's
not an argument.
Would you say? You know what, Josh? We're not talking.
It's not an argument.
He's an elite athlete. He's an elite.
He's not even an elite athlete. I could outrun him in a 40-yard dash right now.
It doesn't matter. Could you outthrow him?
Backwards.
Could you outthrow him?
Backwards.
Could you backwards? Could you outthrow him?
I couldn't outthrow him.
Could you throw a dime even 20 yards?
Oh, I could throw a dime.
20 yards.
Let me tell you, I'm all time like.
Is this the revolt?
Anytime we're playing backyard football, all-time quarterback here. Anticipation.
Okay. All right.
At the max.
Either way, be that as it may.
Yeah.
Father Time caught up Joe Flacco. His streak was over. He was throwing picks left and right. It was very, very Joe Flacco-y. And then CJ Stroud took advantage of it. Look, you can be elite. Joe, you can be elite and still have bad days.
You can't be elite and then be and say this. Listen. You can't say this. He threw a couple picks. He was very Joe Flacco-y. Talking about throwing picks.
Slinging it, slinging it around. Tossing the balls around, either way. But we have CJ Stroud just being, you said it, breakout performance. It seems like he's going to be in the playoffs year in, year out at this point.
He's unreal. He came in rookie year. And anytime a rookie goes into the playoffs or first time playoff matchup, you're like, I don't know if I trust them. Like, I'm not going with them. I would have went with Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a pool where we pick a fantasy lineup, however they do. You win money at the end of the playoffs. So I picked Cleveland. Like, that was my defense. One of the best defenses in football, going up against a rookie. Expected a lot out of them. No, they got torched. And I will say, going into the playoffs, I think right now they are the most dangerous team on the AFC.
Oh, for sure. I was even thinking about. Remember, we were talking about Super Bowl odds and who should I bet on?
Yeah.
Think about it. Houston has to be the best shot at it. Anyone in the AFC is beatable. Buffalo, they just advanced, they're beatable. Kansas City was very beatable. If the Miami Dolphins, which we'll get to, had any kind of competent coaching staff or play calling whatsoever, they had a shot. So Kansas City's beatable. Ravens, I'm not going to say they're beatable. I'm not going to say that. But
I think they are beatable, but
of course they are the cream of the crop. So, and then we have the Houston Texans. Those are the final 4 teams in the AFC. Houston's right there with them.
Houston they're a scary team because they have nothing like they have nothing to prove. Like they've proven they're a young team that's going out and they're going to give it their all, and they can score 45 on one of the best defenses in the NFL.
Yeah, so that is set. The playoff matchups for next week, but we'll talk about that after the show, or not after the show, after these our timelines. So I was feeling pretty good. Going, okay, CJ Stroud, like this is good. Houston's gonna win. This is fun for football. Had no impact on my life. Just this is good for football. We want to see young. We don't want to see Joe Flacco in the second round, although he is elite.
I will say my father-in-law, Browns fan, they lost.
Okay, that's what you're saying.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. So then we go to the night game. We go to the Miami Dolphins on Peacock. How do you feel about that? How do you feel? Are you a Peacock fan?
I get Peacock for free with my TV.
Okay. Are you a streaming football fan? If you had to go subscribe, if you didn't have, let's just say Paramount Plus. I don't even know if that's the thing.
Paramount Plus is the worst.
Well, let's just say that the Cowboys were playing a playoff game on Paramount Plus. Would you subscribe to watch the game?
Yes.
Okay. So you're just like, whatever. It is what it is.
I wouldn't be happy about it. I'd say this is dumb, but I would subscribe. And that's why I did it.
I am on the side of, I hate it, but I understand it. And I understand it's the future, but I hate that I can't channel surf. Like when I'm watching the Buccaneers right now, I want to go between Monday Night Raw and Monday Night Football. I want to go between the two. If I'm watching Peacock, people are crying about $5 and yada, yada, yada. My biggest gripe is I want variety, and I want to be able to, if it's a commercial or whatever it may be, check something out real quick. That's what I do. I hate the fact that it's on a freaking streaming service where I cannot do that. I hate it.
The thing is, at what point do we get to where we count out the little people, the people that are scratching their money together? They don't have cable. They bought an antenna. They love football, and they want to watch it on Fox or CBS or one of the basic channels that they get. When do we just say F them?
It's already happening.
I know, but
ESPN's got a playoff game right now. Is this on ABC? I'm not sure. I have it on ESPN. I could check real quick. Hold on. Because if it's, I would assume this is on ABC. Yeah, it's on ABC as well.
Yeah.
So people can watch this, but it's happening with Prime. It's happening.
Like we just totally like before it started happening. I'm trying to think of
for the NFL.
Yeah,
it was ESPN. It was Monday Night Football going to ESPN. That was a big thing. That was a big thing because it was on network TV for a very long time. Because before Sunday Night Football was on ESPN, and then when they took Monday Night Football away, people were pretty upset. I remember that. I was like I was kind of a small kid. My dad was yelling about it.
Yeah,
shocking.
But anyway, let's get into this Miami Kansas City Chiefs game. How do you feel going into this game knowing that these people are playing -24 at the start of the game, wind chill? Do you think the NFL made the right decision on allowing these people to play?
Of course. Why wouldn't they be able to play? There was no visible distractions like in the Buffalo situation. There was no people are like, oh, they delayed that game, but they won't do the Miami game. There's reasons for that. The snow is a big reason. Also, it's on
state of emergency.
State of emergency. Yeah. Also, there's Peacock. Peacock paid for this game, and they advertised it for 8:00 on Saturday night, prime time. They weren't moving this game no matter what. This was Peacock's decision.
And
this wasn't the
NFL's. If you looked at the schedule ahead, you would have saw the next day, same weather. The following day, a little bit warmer, but snow. So what are we doing here?
Look,
Play it now or play it another time when it's really cold. You're not pushing this back and
No.
pushing the playoff schedule back a week because of this.
Are people mad that they had to play the game? Are people Miami fans are mad?
RG3 was calling like, if do the right thing. Don't let these people play. People can get hurt. Like, I get it. People can get hurt. But they have the option of saying, no, I don't want to play.
Yeah.
They have that option.
Just like, people can get hurt in any profession, not just the NFL. But like oil riggers, you think, oh, no, it's too dangerous. I don't want to.
No.
I don't want, you know what? I don't want to catch snow crabs today, guys. They literally have a show called The Deadly. Whatever.
Deadliest catch, yeah.
The game.
Yeah.
I knew they were going to lose going in. I
didn't think so.
I did. I took Kansas City in the under for sure. I was like, this is going to hit. This is the easiest money you'll make all week, people. It hit. Shocking. Tua, the week. Listen, I was watching for the first time. No offense, Bobby and Evan. For the first time in my life, I tuned into a Finstock Sports Network live on YouTube after the game. That's how mad I was. And Josh, you know me. I don't get mad about sports. Yeah. It's just a game. But I was actually very irritated, and I wanted to join in because I knew Evan would go off. I knew Bobby would be whatever. I knew the guys would just be like, fire this guy, fire. I see Brett Lagasse all over Twitter, fire Tua, blah, blah, blah. I see I see everybody. And I hear you, and I'm on it. Fire McDaniels. You have to. 2 playoff games in a row where you are the worst play, not even just the worst player caller, not even just like, oh, that drive sucked. You were an embarrassment. Yeah. 2 playoff games in a row. And this one was even worse because you could not design. Don't fire Tua. Do not put this on Tua. Yeah, Tua was put in a position. Tua was in a position to fail every pass that was designed behind the line of scrimmage when the other team was able to push the ball downfield. Play calls weren't being called to push.
I want to see a stopwatch happen. I want a stopwatch on the time the ball travels to the receiver, because that is an obvious thing with Tua. Yes. The ball takes so much longer for it to get to the receiver. We saw it on the Waddle pass where I think there's 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The ball was thrown, and it just took a century for that ball to get there. And the same thing happens to the ball. Like, don't get me wrong, play calling was awful, but come on. Like, Tua takes forever for the ball to get to his receivers. And it's not even like, I don't know what it is, because there's some throws that they look tight, they get there on time. And there's other throws like what's been happening lately where it looks like his arm strength is just like not even there.
I get that. I really do get that. And I did see that. I did notice. I'm not blind. I'm not just a blind Tua lover, although I do love the guy. I think he's good. I think he's good for what he is. Is he a winner? Is he a killer? I don't see the killer instinct in his face. I don't see it in his eyes. I just see him as like, whatever. We're going out there and playing football.
Yeah.
But the play calling, I'm sorry. That stood out to me more than Tua's poor play. I don't understand why the first drive, I knew it. Run up the middle with Mostert. Run again with Mostert. A screen pass to your third string running back. That's how you respond to an opening drive score from Mahomes. That's how you respond. Right then and there, I said, they have no shot. There's no creativity throughout the entire night. There was no awesome designs. There was no nothing. It was Mostert, nothing. Don't even use H-hand. What do you get? Like three opportunities, 5. Didn't even use them. Tyreek was invisible the whole entire first quarter. Did Waddle even show up to play the game? I understand he's banged up, but where the hell was he?
I thought Waddle was playing fairly well.
Yeah, he was playing well. But my point is, there was a couple downfield shots, but a couple. Yeah. The rest, like I didn't see everything, guys. I didn't look it up. I wanted to, but the freaking average yards per attempt had to be only 2 yards. It was embarrassing. Why did they design a game plan where every pass was either behind the line of scrimmage? I'm still getting mad about it, or at the line of scrimmage. Why was that? What was the point of that?
I don't know that, but I do think they had the right thing in mind. They just didn't execute it correctly. You need these quick passes. Get the ball as fast as you can in these receivers' hands. People don't want to hit in this kind of weather. So get it in their hands, let them do something with Tyreek and Waddle, crossing routes. comebacks. Just get it to them and let them do something with it. And the play calling was just so bad.
Yeah,
The
you know what, Josh?
execution was so bad.
People don't want to tackle Isaiah Pacheco. People have no problem tackling 32,
no.
31-year-old Raheem Mostert or little baby H. They don't have a bruiser. And I'm not saying this is the reason why they lost. But even
here's my issue.
They don't have a bruiser to even Mostert is so frail. I'm sorry.
You don't have a bruiser. Everyone's cold. Everyone's running a little bit slower. Run to the edges. That's what your offense is designed to do. Hit the edges. Hit them over the middle with your receivers. Play like you're doing the perimeter game with your run game. Off tackle runs, sweeps, things of that nature with your run game, and then over the middle in your passing game. 3-step drops, just quick, get it out. Like this game should have just been a domination from Miami. And everyone that is saying to fire the defensive coordinator, Fangio.
No, they can't do that.
I don't know what you were watching. No. Like, I wish the Dallas Cowboy defense that we're going to get to in a little bit played exactly like Miami. I wish we played like Miami on defense because we would be talking about a completely different scenario coming forward.
I'm glad you said that. There are so many starters out on the defense side. We all know. It's Monday by now. The game's been 2 days old. Everyone knows the problems. It's on McDaniels. He's too much of a.
He's not a head coach.
I'm cool. You be my friend. It was charming. It still is charming, right? It still is. But the difference is, and I've been well documented on the show that I criticized Dan Campbell for his stupid, like, oh, we're biting kneecaps and I'm one of the boys. But he's a guy that you buy into. Whereas McDaniel, you're like, yeah, let's just smoke some pot and chill. Like, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, he's your buddy. Like,
yeah.
I want to see what happens behind the scenes because on camera, in front of everyone, he's just your bro. Like, he doesn't, like, he's not head coaching material. If I'm going into that scenario and I'm a football player, I'm thinking I can take advantage of this guy in relationship type situations. As far as he just wants to be cool with me. So I'm going to take that as far as I can and take as much out of it. I don't know what he's like behind closed doors, but he's not a head coach. And the number one thing he was here and brought here to do is to turn this offense around and win playoff games. The offense looks a lot better, but in big games and down the stretch, when it comes to December, the offense is just completely different. It doesn't do what it's supposed to do. It stops, and this is 2 years in a row that this has happened. I get it. The year before, Tua got hurt, but it's just I'm moving on from this experiment. I'm going to someone else. I'm trying to figure out. I think Harbaugh would be a really good head coach to bring in here, but as well, I don't know. I think you need to clean house. I think you need to get rid of Greer. You need to get rid of McDaniels, and you're not getting rid of Tua because you have him on that 5th-year option. You're going to bring him in. You have no other option. You are in a win now scenario. So you're going to bring Tua back, but you're finding his replacement and you're drafting someone or finding someone that can take his spot.
So that's what I was going to ask you. I was watching the game with my friend who takes this Dolphins team very serious, and he's way more upset than I was. And I was pretty upset. And he's like, we're in a Daniel Jones situation. We're in the New York Giants situation. We're literally in the same position. We got to the playoffs. Hold on. Daniel Jones had his best year ever, and they won a playoff game. Tua had his best year ever, but they didn't win a playoff game. That's the difference. What do? Because you can't just say, all right, walk, we're done, and have no backup. Or Tua is like, I'm not going to play. Very rare quarterbacks hold out. I get it. Or you extend them.
Tua doesn't have that in us.
Or you extend them.
No.
That's the same thing that Daniel Jones. That's the same freaking thing that happened over there. How can you get rid of Daniel Jones when he just had that game where he just won a playoff game, where he just had the best season of his career? How do you do that with Tua? It's kind of the same thing. Kind of.
First of all, Daniel Jones got that contract, and what did everyone in the football world say?
It was a mistake.
It was a mistake.
I know.
So don't make that same mistake twice. Like,
but what do they do? I was talking to my friend. What do we do? Do we go to a quarterback that's listen, guys? I was saying Joe Flacco's elite, but there's not so many Joe Burrows and there's not so many, Lamar Jacksons and even Jalen Hurts is on TV right now who's not even great. Just he's just good. How are you going to replace a very good quarterback? Because the odds are they're gonna be just average or just on Tua's level. What are we trying to get here? Not everyone's going to be the next Jordan
I
Love or
think
CJ Stroud. I don't understand what you people
I
want
get
because
that.
people miss way more than they hit. And when you finally hit on a very good player, why can't you build like Kirk Cousins was a very good player for a very long time. The Minnesota Vikings finally put players around him that made him appear as better than what he was. Why can't they do that in Miami?
They
So
do.
did.
They have
did.
done that
But
in
they-
Miami.
But they did, and he was great. And guess what happened? Guess what happened?
What?
Freaking play calling struck again. I don't care what anyone says. This is on all McDaniels. This is
No, I
all
think
on
it's
him.
Tua's on. Like, if you give me Tua, and then give me someone with a stronger arm, I guarantee you guys win that game. Get that ball to the receivers faster. Let them do their thing. I want to replay, like go back and watch that one play I'm telling you about where it was thrown to Waddle on the left side. He went to catch it. Out of the corner of his eye, he saw someone barreling down. But this ball took way too long to get to him. And he dropped the ball because I think the defender was 15 yards away from him. And in the time of him getting, it was like a 10-yard pass. And in the time for that to get to him, it was just like a bang, bang play. And I do want to say, when it comes to define clean house, I mean, new GM, which anytime you have a new GM, you're getting a new coaching staff. And when it comes to a new coach and a new GM, you're getting a new quarterback. But I don't think it's the right move to move on from Tua at this moment. Get him until you don't have an availability of a contract with him anymore. After his 5th-year option, move on from there. But find someone to replace him, either if they can supersede him this year or next when he's no longer there and have someone ready to take over. I think that's a smart move. I just don't know why you don't go into next season without a plan B. If you go into next season without a plan B, that's when you get the Daniel Jones situations, and you don't want to do that again.
All right. So after listening to we're gonna move on from this game because we'll talk all night because I'm sure you're gonna talk a lot about the Cowboys. So after I got home from Davey's house, my buddy's house, and I listened to Bobby on the Finstock Sports Network, I fell asleep crying. I woke up the next day thinking, well, it's a new day. We're fresh. It's cool. Because I hit on some bets. I bet the Chiefs and the under. Like I won some money.
I went hard on that game.
You went hard.
So hard.
You went hard. Hey, Hunter, we're all negative, man. It's just a rough time being a Dolphins fan. I expected it. I thought they had zero chance. I went into the game thinking zero shot they win. Zero.
Yeah,
okay.
So
anyway, woke up. It's a brand new day. I'm about to play some more bets on the Hard Rock app. Let's go. I lost every single bet. I lost all the money I won the night before plus more because I had every single parlay attached to the Cowboys money line. I had every bet, and I'm not even exaggerating. Every single bet I placed yesterday had the Cowboys winning money line. Straight up thinking, they'll win. I think they're going to win. They're home. Green Bay, yeah, Green Bay's hot, but hey, Dak is hotter. Cowboys are hotter. No way they can lose. When did you realize the game was over?
21-0. And I didn't truly give up at 21-0 because I knew we had the ball. We could get the ball before half, score a touchdown. And then we got the ball back after half. So we come back, score a touchdown after that. 21-14. We're good. We're in it. The moment we didn't score right before half, or that drive before the half, before they actually scored, I was like, this is over.
Didn't they throw a pick six and then go down and score? So like kind of cancel that pick six out? It was
No.
27. What was
They
it?
threw a pick six and then they got the ball back, didn't score. And then I turned it off after that. But I believe that they scored a touchdown just before halftime.
So I'm watching the game going, okay, not bad, not bad. They got this 7-0, no worries. They go down 14-0. I'm like, okay, bad start. Bad start. They got this. Down 21-0. I'm like, they got this. There's time. Like I kept on just telling myself, there's time.
They weren't out of it at 21-0.
No, I'm like, this defense is gonna shut down. Dak's throwing some bad interceptions. CD looks like he doesn't want to be there. There was something definitely going on between Dak and CD. Something. I don't know if they got into a fight. I don't know if something happened. I don't know. You can tell.
I don't know if it was between Dak and CD. I think it was they were just frustrated of what the hell is going on. Like,
but before the wheels came off,
not to do this.
Before the wheels came off, they just looked like they didn't want to be there. Especially CD. He just looked like, nah, I'm good. I don't like. I'm frustrated. I'm mad. He's irritated about something. Don't know what it was. And this was like the first drive. Yeah. The first drive, he was upset. They finally. I'm only mad because I'm in a fantasy league where we use a player, and once we use that player, they're gone. You can't use them again. So you set up a new lineup every week.
Yeah.
I took out Josh Allen for Dak. Dak had like 0 points at halftime. I think he had negative points at halftime.
They scored the most though when it came.
Oh yeah, because at garbage time, and I had CD too, so it kind of screwed me. But Dak really saved my life. But I don't know what Josh did today because I didn't watch the game. But I will say this: I'm glad he scored me a lot of fantasy points. I'm very upset that they lost because I think that they were the only team that could have beaten the 49ers. So, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do as do we just? I'm not a Cowboy fan, but what do we do? Are you more mad than Dolphins fans?
Hunter said, yeah, and I told so I want to go back to when I said my father-in-law is a Cleveland Browns fan. My father-in-law is a Cleveland Browns fan. My wife is a Miami Dolphins fan. I am a Cowboys fan. Everyone lost yesterday. So with that, my wife was like, "Oh, you just got so mad last night. You were worse than I was." I was like, "You don't understand this. Your team doesn't make the playoffs very often, so it's okay to accept that we got beat. We don't do this very often. We got beat. My team is in here almost every year, and they lose every freaking time. Every time." And I think I said this last week when we found out the matchup, Green Bay versus Dallas. I don't feel good about this. Green Bay is just, they own the Dallas Cowboys in this century. And I just don't feel good about playing Green Bay no matter who it is. I said to anyone, I hope it's an Aaron Rodgers thing, not a Green Bay thing, because I feel uneasy about this game. Yeah. And they came in and just dominated us. I'm pretty sure, like, at the end of this, I'm like, Dan Quinn knew that he had a new job. He gave up. He also, the team found out. They don't care. So I just feel like Dan Quinn's out. Mike McCarthy, Mike McCarthy was so good this year. So good. Like, if I could, like, if it wasn't for what happened, I'd say bring him back. He was amazing this year. But I said this at the end of last year's playoff loss. The Dallas Cowboys need a culture change. And they need to figure out how to do it. I don't know if it's Bill Belichick. I don't know if it's one of these big hires or if it's going in and getting someone young, but they need someone who's going to change the mentality between the front office and the team being coaching and the players. Because there's the only thing that continues to be the same every year is that the front office is the same. The team changes all the time. And then we still have this mentality when it comes to the playoffs. Something needs to change. And I don't know if someone like Bill Belichick coming in, changing that culture would happen. But the only thing with Bill Belichick is he wants to have final say to roster, to draft, to all that. When it comes to that stuff, the Dallas Cowboys front office is one of the best in the NFL. Let them do that, If you're willing to just change the culture and be this head coach, come on in. But if you want to say who gets drafted and all this, I'm good. But we do need a culture change.
So I heard rumors, of course, we all heard the same thing, that Bill he wanted to relinquish power to stay with New England, but they already had a replacement ready for him. So it doesn't look like he cares to have all the power anymore. He's like, oh yeah, I'll relinquish it. I just want to coach. Everyone's saying he's going to Dallas. Is that a good fit for Dak? Is that a good fit for everyone involved?
Depends on who comes. I think Bill Belichick being the culture and the sideline mind is good for Dallas, because Dallas has struggled with having the person making the right decisions on the sidelines. Bill's going to do that. Bill's going to make sure that people come prepared. He's going to have the right mentality. Who comes with him? Because that's where the other side of this plays into. Is Josh McDaniels going to be scurrying back into underneath of Bill Belichick? I'm down for that, because he can get Dak to play better. And I think Dak had a really good game at the end of good year. At the end of this season, I'm not trying to move on from Dak. And at the end of last year, I was. At the end of this season, I'm not trying to move on from Dak. I don't believe it was a Dak issue. I think it's a culture issue at the end of the game. And I'm wondering who the defensive coordinator is going to be, because Dan Quinn's out. We need to elevate this defense. We don't need to fall under. Dan Quinn leaves, it falls apart. We need to elevate this defense. So I'm curious who would come in as a defensive coordinator under him.
Yeah, a lot of question marks in Dallas, man. It's just too much talent to keep failing year after year. But on the other side, we do have the Green Bay Packers, who are on the ascend with Jordan Love coming out of nowhere, having a phenomenal season. I didn't see this season coming from Jordan Love, but especially with that receiving core. Apparently, Aaron Rodgers couldn't do anything with him, but Jordan Love can. So that's kind of weird, right? Isn't that? What do you think Aaron Rodgers would have done with Jaden Reed and these guys? Like, do you think he would have made these guys this successful? I don't know. I don't really want you to answer that question, because I don't want you to hurt my feelings. But I do know that team's for real. They look really good, but they have no chance next week. Zero chance. Can we agree? They're going to get beat.
Oh, Green Bay? Yeah.
They're going to San Fran.
That's
another good matchup, though. Another good matchup, though.
They almost lost to Dallas.
Oh, Bobby. Well, of course. What do you mean? Who
almost lost to Dallas at the end?
Yeah.
Like, Dallas came this close to coming back and beating them.
I already had the game off at that point. I already turned the game off at that point. For all you guys viewing, tuning in, thank you for showing up tonight. I still want to let you know we're doing a timeline of our playoffs. The Buccaneers are up 10-0 right now against the Philadelphia Eagles. No need to switch over to ESPN just yet. You can switch over there in a couple minutes. But Big Mike just dropped a big, huge ball that would have put me to the top of my fantasy. I'm so mad about that. But anyway, so we move on from that game. We go into the night game, where it's Detroit. It's Los Angeles Rams. I'm guessing this is the game where we watched half of it.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of it. I just said, I'm done with football. I can't watch it. I put on, I text my brother-in-laws, and I was like, I'm getting on the game. Anyone that wants to join me, please do, because we have a pretty cool game that we're playing. Medieval Dynasty. It's a crafting.
Every time you call me a nerd, Josh, just understand
it's a cool
you're
game.
just a bigger nerd than I am. It's okay. It's a survival game. So why don't you play Lego Fortnite? It's a survival game.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess technically, whatever.
Because it doesn't have Vikings and Draculas. Anyway, so
no, I do have Draculas.
Okay, so the Lions game. I will say, guys, I watched half of it because I was pooped. I was destroyed. I lost a lot of money because the Cowboys screwed me over. But I was there for the game, or not there, but I was there for the atmosphere of the game. I did bet. The only bet I won. The only bet I won was David Montgomery anytime touchdown.
Is your head coach safe?
Mine? Josh W. He knows.
Okay.
He knows. Why would it be asked? He knows. He's Dolphins thirsty. He knows everything about the. Listen, I don't know where you stand on this thing, but I say fire both mics. Get rid of both.
Yeah, I don't know if McCarthy had a hell of a season as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
I feel like
Couple we lost in big games, but when it came to like the turnaround, when it came time for the bye, and after that, this team was on, and he did that turnaround. I mean, it sucks what happened. I think a culture change needs to happen, but Mike McCarthy did do a really good job this season.
that play you guys have with Ferguson, where it's like a triple option.
Ferguson is unreal.
First off, why can't Miami? Miami ran 0 creative plays like that. 0. Dallas ran that play at least 4 times. It was awesome. That play works every time.
Can we talk about like was this Jake Ferguson's coming out party?
Dude, Jake Ferguson's awesome. No, he's been coming out all year. I've been telling, if you watch OUS on Wednesday nights, I've been telling y'all about Jake Ferguson.
I'm just saying to the NFL, like,
okay,
he established himself as a top tier tight end.
He should, yeah. He established himself all season as a top. He is very good. Dude, Dak loves him in the red zone. I know that for a fact. We're gonna be talking about tight ends pretty soon on our show.
No.
But I love Ferguson, man. He's what a hit he is. He's better. I would take him over Kincaid, I guess fantasy wise, and a couple others. Kyle Pitts for sure. That guy's trash.
I kind of hope Dallas, not to get ahead, but I hope in the offseason, Dallas trades for Kyle Pitts.
That'd be fun. So anyway, the Lions and Rams. I know we didn't watch all of it. But
I didn't watch. It was a close game, really good game. I know the Rams got out early. I guess the Lions
scored first.
But the Rams kept coming back and coming back. I'm just happy the Lions won.
Yep, that's all I want to talk about. How happy I am they won.
I loved that Dan Campbell got that win, and he solidified himself as a top tier coach because he really is a top tier coach. He might not be the Kyle Shanahan out there where he's this guru, but when it comes to building a culture on a team, he is one of the best in the NFL. And sometimes that's what coaches are. Like, they just build that. They create a cohesive team, and they let the people that are under them do their job.
I got to put this up real quick because on Wednesday night you hear awesome advice as in pick up CJ Stroud. We were telling people to pick up Stroud before anyone did. So you're welcome, Hunter. More on that Wednesday nights, of course. OUS. But let's talk. We all know Lions won. Happy, joy.
You would have known that during the draft season if you tuned in during the draft.
Yep, I did. I give you credit every single time I bring up CJ Stroud. I say Josh Wingate over. I give you credit. But now we can talk about the upcoming matchups. We really can't because there's still a game going on. But I think Tampa's going to win. I bet Tampa to win. But of course, I parlayed down with Dallas. Josh, you lost me a lot of money this weekend, or your team did at least.
Yeah, I didn't lose you any. I tried to get you money.
You tried to give me money then. That was a disaster. So we have the AFC locked up. Do you have those matchups in front of you? It's not that hard to figure out, right?
No. Because we have Houston playing Baltimore.
Yep.
And then we also have I'm trying to think of the other teams that won. So Houston's playing Baltimore, and then we have the Kansas City Chiefs playing the Buffalo Bills. It's going to be at Buffalo, right? Yeah. Buffalo won the division.
Buffalo. Yep, at Buffalo.
So Houston at Baltimore, Kansas City at Buffalo.
Is it at Buffalo?
Going to be some really good.
Is it at Buffalo? Guys in the chat, is it at Buffalo?
Is it not?
I don't know. I'm asking you. I really don't know. Either way, you find that out. You're faster on the little fingers than I am. I think these are great games. I think, of course, Kansas City and Buffalo is the match of the most underwhelming team. Okay, that's going to be the matchup of the most underwhelming teams, and then the most exciting game in the AFC is going to be Baltimore and CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans. I'm curious to see what they're going to do against Baltimore. Baltimore's defense, huh?
Buffalo's going to beat the Chiefs. I know you weren't talking about that.
Yeah, I was like, what is happening right now?
But Buffalo's going to beat the Chiefs.
I think so too. I think Buffalo's going to beat the Chiefs, but we're not there yet. But won't spoil it away. Yeah, Buffalo's going to beat the Chiefs, and I do see the Ravens, of course, beating the Texans. But
I don't know. I don't know.
Hold on. I truly think that defense is better than Cleveland's, and I do think that they can confuse CJ Stroud. Hopefully, not hopefully, but
What Lamar
this
Jackson
guy,
shows up.
this hopefully not playoffs Lamar, but CJ Stroud is so nice. He looks. I can't explain it. When he's over there rolling out, he just flicks his wrist, and then you got Nico Collins running this zigzag route, and he looks phenomenal. Like, why can't
After next year,
all teams do this?
so
Why can't
not next
all
season, but the
quarterbacks do
season after that, we're going to be talking about Pat Mahomes and CJ Stroud being the two best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Stop.
100%.
At the end of next season.
At the end of next season, going into the season after that, we're going to be talking about those two being the best two quarterbacks in the NFL.
That's crazy. I just gotta say that's crazy. I can't believe that.
Who do you think would be
number 2?
Yeah, like who's number 2 right now?
I mean Lamar, right?
Is
you're
he?
going, dude, he's gonna win MVP. What are you talking about?
Like
yeah,
Joe Burrow? Like is it Joe Burrow?
could be Burrow, but you're talking about like traditional statue quarterback. I'm talking about just quarterback.
No, I'm just talking about quarterback. Like
yeah, Lamar, dude, he's gonna win MVP. What are you talking about?
But it's not an MVP. Like this is the worst MVP season.
Brock Purdy?
stat-wise.
Brock Purdy.
Like no, like it's going to be after next season. We're talking about Pat Mahomes and CJ Stroud being the two best quarterbacks in the NFL, hands down.
Do people still think Josh Allen's number 2?
No,
like if
they
you
can't.
like casual,
you can't have
casual,
back-to-back 14 interception games
casual
or
viewers.
seasons. Yeah, I'm
Casual
sure they do.
viewers.
Casual
Okay.
viewers, yes.
All right,
But
that's
you
all I
can't
want.
have 14 intercept. Like, does he walk on water? Does anyone talk about his interceptions?
Yeah, all
Anyone.
the time. We talk about turnovers all the time.
Yeah,
Yes.
but does it get held against him like it does other quarterbacks?
Okay. So in the fantasy community, it gets brought up, and then some say it doesn't matter. He's still a fantasy producer, and some say, well, he's just not good at football. That's what it is right now. Not good at football, as in like he can't protect the ball. So there are people that defend him. He's doing it all by himself. Yada yada yada. And there's some people.
But I feel
that
like any other quarterback, it's weighted an interception's an interception. I feel like Josh Allen's interceptions is weighted 0.5. It values half of an interception when he throws one. Like people don't care.
people don't care, dude. I will tell you this. I know Hunter's making jokes with putting Baker in the chat, but the Bucks are running up and down the field on Philadelphia.
Rashad White.
They're just throwing it. Kate Otten just caught like a 25-yard catch. Rashad White, every time I see him, he's doing well. Big Mike's getting open. He would have scored if he didn't drop that ball. Their touchdown was just poor tackling. It was Philadelphia's getting worked.
So my fantasy thing I'm doing, once that player, you pick your lineup. If the player gets
hold on. I do love how we just said fuck the next week. We're just gonna talk about Josh and Josh's fantasy teams.
Once a player gets eliminated, you replace him. So cool. I took some Cowboy players. I took CeeDee Lamb, obviously. I took Rashad White. I took I forget who my other guy was.
Dude, if you didn't play Aaron Jones, then you didn't listen to me.
I didn't play Aaron Jones.
God damn it.
He was a Cowboys guy. I played A-Chain because I thought he was going to have a crazy game.
Oh.
He got eliminated. So who's taking his spot?
Oh, so running backs that are still alive, CMC.
Yeah. A lot of people played CMC week 1.
That's pretty dumb. Well, because they're afraid that their guy wouldn't get eliminated, so they want to keep CMC. That makes sense. Because if your team didn't get eliminated, then you have to stick with the running
Then
back.
play Aaron Jones and Tony Pollard. One of them gets eliminated. You're getting points.
No, that's the truth. That's true. That's true. What you said is true. I don't play in leagues like that. I know Justin wanted to set up a league like that. It was hard to get people to join it because a lot of people don't like that rule. It should be set a lineup. Those players are now unusable.
I agree, but I'm rolling in the next week. CMC, like I had Tyreek Hill. So I mean, honestly, is it wrong to go Rashid Rice?
Rashi Rice? No, I would go Rashi Rice. Yes, Buffalo's secondary is not great.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, like
I would run Amon-Ra if he's still available. Yeah.
Like
I'm running. So if you guys really want to get into it, I can break down who I ran.
I had Matthew Stafford as my quarterback.
In the chat, put a like or say yes, Josh. I want to hear your awesome team. My league is 96 people deep. I'm in 12th place right now.
Nice.
Actually, I'm in 11th. One guy cheated. Documented. We already caught him.
So I had Matthew Stafford. I got to figure out my new quarterback now.
Oh, easy peasy lemon squeezy, baby. It's easy. This is hands down. You go Brock Purdy. You have to go Purdy. He was dominant, or you can go Lamar. But Brock Purdy was dominant throughout the entire season, top 5 quarterback, and he's got Green Bay, whose secondary is not supposed to be good, but they were good against you guys for some reason. This is easy. This is Brock Purdy for me because now you get him throughout the whole season. Does it multiply if he makes it to the next week?
Yeah.
So yeah, Brock Purdy is a slam dunk. You should be happy Stafford is eliminated, so you can pivot to Brock Purdy. That's a perfect placeholder because you got 20 points from Stafford, I believe, probably maybe 18, and then now you can go to Brock Purdy throughout the whole.
Dak would have been the best decision.
Yeah, to play Dak, but Brock Purdy is in the bag. He's going to go out through the whole thing. You're going to multiply it week after week. Brock Purdy's the only play I see for you if it's a season long, if it's the rest of the way.
My tight end, I forget who I took.
Who'd you use?
I wanted to take Laporta, but I heard he was hurt.
Njoku was a slam dunk. If you didn't take Njoku, then you weren't.
I did take Njoku. That's who I took.
But Ferguson was the one who you should have taken. But so if you went Njoku, then this is a slam dunk as well. Josh.
Laporta.
Kelsey. You just go Kelsey until Kelsey's eliminated. Kelsey is still Kelsey, people. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, he's not playing well. Yes, it's been this and that. Oh, gosh, Baker.
Do you go Kelsey or do you go Laporta?
I go Kelsey. Because this is an argument I've had all season long with Justin, man. I'm sorry. Until Kelsey is dead.
Kelsey against Buffalo, Laporta against Tampa Bay.
If Tampa wins.
Tampa's going to win. Have you watched the Eagles over the last? Dude,
Baker just threw into double coverage, very bad pass, so it could have been easily picked right there. But I'm going to go I go Kelsey. I'm just a guy who give me the same thing, eggs and bacon every day. Eggs and bacon. Give me the special, which is Travis Kelsey. Sorry. I'm not going anywhere else.
It's in Kansas City, or no, it's in Buffalo.
Sorry. You're never going to talk me out of this one, man.
Taylor will probably be there.
So you can do the.
Did you hate that?
Okay. I hated it because it was against Miami. And after I got home, I didn't see it till the loss already happened. I'm on Twitter scrolling. Okay. I'm like, and I said, F this girl. Yeah. But yeah, that's why I was mad. I don't really care either way. You're having a football game. What are you supposed to do in a football game?
Did you see my tweet?
What are you supposed to do?
Did you see what I tweeted to Justin after he posted about it?
No.
He was like, someone posted about it where I'm sick and tired of Taylor Swift, blah, 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 blah.
I saw the tweet.
He tweeted about how people are just having fun. Truly, you're getting mad at people having fun, having a good time.
I know.
My statement was.
Okay, go ahead and tell me what you said. Go ahead.
These are people that got mad at Kaepernick. They're just trying to find their next thing to get mad at.
That's not true.
And you just have to ignore them and move on.
That's not true.
You get mad at Taylor Swift being at the game.
I'm not.
And them panning to her 3 times during the game. And people are up in an outroar.
I did say I'd rather see Jackson Mahomes. It's true. I'd rather see him.
Wow.
1,000%. I would rather see him.
What? Why?
I would. But I don't really want to get into it. I will say the whole thing, she's having a great time. If it was any other team that they were playing, I'd be like, oh, that's fun. She's cool. Whatever. She's living the gimmick. She finally bought into the script. Cool. She's having a great time. She's cashing those checks.
People are angry.
But
y'all need to sit back.
But as a Dolphins fan, after the game, when I saw it on Twitter, I was thinking, all I could think was, F you. But it's the same thing you get.
I get that.
Yeah. So it's like, F you. But if it, in a vacuum, it's cool. Like, she's having a good time. She had everyone having a good time. Good for her. Honestly. But
I'm chilling.
I'm
chilling with all my Taylor Swift stuff.
I don't need to see her. I don't need to see an octo box or a quad box. And one's on Travis Kelsey, one's on Mahomes, one's on Tua, and then one's on Taylor Swift. What does she have to do?
What if it's on Mama Kelsey?
Taylor
Swift just happens to be next to her.
I tweeted Peacock at Peacock, I will pay X amount of dollars to get the Taylor Swift free stream tonight.
Wow.
I would.
What like do people just have to be angry?
People,
Do we have as Americans, do we just have to be angry? Do we have to find the one little thing in what we enjoy watching and
let's
doing?
Be honest. Let's be honest what it is. Let's be honest what it is. Prices everywhere across the board, clothing, food, gas, water, anything you can think of is going up. Scott, our rates as workers, our wages are staying the exact same. The exact same. So when we see someone with more than us, seriously, success, it's just a thing that goes in people's heads. It really is. It's hard to change. That's why people love Tom Brady.
So it's jealousy.
People envy. People love Tom Brady at the beginning. He was a hero. Even Dolphins fans were like, yeah, finally, like this guy's a 6th-round pick. Yeah, whatever it was. Yeah, it's fine. He's cool. Mahomes hit that this year. Mahomes was the cool quarterback until this year. That's when people turned on him.
Really?
Yeah, I think this is the year people turned.
I think people felt sorry for Mahomes.
I feel like people turned on him this year. Every single, and I did too last Saturday night. Every single, with his stupid Kermit face every time, no matter what it was.
Because we have such an elite quarterback, and these people just drop every pass.
He gets his helmet cracked, and he has to get forced taken out. He throws a fit about that. Everything this guy does, he throws a fit about. Mahomes cries about literally everything. And I love Mahomes still, but people are turning on him. I see it. He's just to this, to that, diva, crybaby. LeBron James, people turned on him. People turn on success. People always will.
Jeez.
See? People turn on Taylor Swift.
People just want to be angry.
Oh, Devontae Smith. God damn it. I have 2 people left in my damn lineup. It's Devontae Smith and Mike Evans. And they both almost scored a touchdown tonight.
Almost.
Devontae Smith had one. Anyway,
cool.
Can I watch the game, guys?
Yeah, let's go. Mugs and Balls, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter X,
damn it, that was
and Twitch. Finch Talk Sports. We are the Beer and Sports Podcast. Josh Kimmel, US, Josh Wingate 302. Appreciate everyone that stayed with us. Ray Finkel, Hunter,
Pam, Bobby,
Bobby,
Dolphins
Thirsty. We appreciate you all. Go over to our Beer and Sports Podcast Twitter, join our Discord, and let's just keep this conversation going. We'll talk to you during the games.
I won't.
Let's talk. Yeah, you will. I'll get you to. We appreciate
you guys know how bad I am at text anyone, and if you're my DMs, you know how bad I am.
Yeah, but if I was to say, hey, people are in the Discord, let's talk, you would instantly be in there talking to everyone.
I would, but I'm not active. Okay. This is a bad promo for the Discord. I'm always in there, always talking to people.